Hey guys, what's up? I'm going to show you how to be better at zombies. So basically when you start out in zombies, you're probably going to have no idea what you're doing. So basically from round 1 on, the point of the game is to get the most points. And the easiest way to do that is essentially shoot them a little bit, and then you melee for the most points possible in the earlier rounds. And it's different with every gun. You can test this out through different rounds and things. Basically, since I'm using the PO8 right now, it's 2 shots in the body, and then you shovel them to get the max amount of points you need, you know, without wasting any resources. So basically what you want to do in the early rounds is just try and maximize your points. Don't open the door yet. You can usually stay alive for 3 rounds here. If you're playing solo, the first perk you should get is definitely this over here, the automatic self-revive. If you're playing with a group of friends, don't get this until later because it's probably not the best investment early on. Yeah. And you can pick up every power-up you get and things of that nature. And also another important thing in zombies is movement, because if you back yourself into a corner, you're obviously going to get downed. So the best thing in zombies is, or especially in this zombies and World War II zombies, is always make sure you have an escape plan. Like see here, if I was to stay in this corner, I would go down almost immediately. So the best way to do it is lure zombies, and then you lure zombies to one side, and then you can run past them all. That's one good way. And then you can activate your super at any time. And if you get into a hectic spot, there's no point to try and kill yourself over getting melee kills, because melee kills give you more points, but they're also, in this one there's also an animation for it, so you just have to be careful to, when you're meleeing a zombie, you don't get attacked by the other horde of zombies. To turn on the power, you have to follow these cords, and then turn these valves. And there's 3 of them. You follow these 3 cords here, and then you go up to that well over there, and then you can open that, and that's where the first perk you will want to get is located. It's the sprint speed perk, which is it's almost essential in this zombies, because the map is so wide open that you need to be able to run around, and without it, it's pretty much essential in this zombies. So when you get an insta-kill, especially on lower rounds, it's best to use your shovel, because you get more points for melee kills, plus you don't waste ammo. And then if you don't have the right perks along with your super ability, which I have right now, that gives me free armor. This is essentially, this saves you from fatal hits. This right here, these Geist Child things. So it's very good to get those, especially if you're new, because it'll save you in many situations. Yeah, the next thing you want to do is follow the last cord. This one requires you to open the door, but it's only 1,000. It's inconsequential in the scheme of things. So you turn the last valve, and then go to the well. And then also on round 5, every couple rounds, there'll be a pest round, which is these small guys with no arms. You can activate, it's the best thing to do against these guys is just run, because they can't really catch you as long as you know your way around. One good thing is to run around this well, and the zombies won't be able to get you if you do it right. So next you want to do is, after you come over to, and all these are green, you want to come over to the well, activate it, and then it'll open a new area, but also more pests will show up, and you can just kill these guys. You know, yeah. And always plan out your escape. Like, I know there's only a few left, so I can run to this corner, then run by him. And essentially, if you're running at a zombie, the one thing you never want to do is run directly into a zombie. You always want to slightly sidestep them, and you won't get hit by any of the zombies you run into. Yeah. Basically, the most important thing in this zombies is player movement, followed by map knowledge. If you know where you're going in the maps, it's a hell of a lot easier than trying to run around and have no idea what you're doing. Yeah. So what you want to do next is jump down this well. The first perk you want to buy is the sprint speed perk, which is located, it's always located in the well. It pretty much gives you unlimited sprint. And you run up here to this generator, turn on the power. It opens this door, which you can loop that. It's just an underground passage. And then after you turn the power at that, one gun that's very good to buy in the beginning, it's only 1,000 points, is you run over here, past this, and it's the Thompson on the wall. And this is a very good early gun to get, that'll get you out of a lot of situations, because it's like any SMG. It has a fast fire rate, quick reload. It's just an overall good starter gun if you don't know which wall guns to buy or things like that.
To me.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see, I'm just dodging the zombies, because in this one, unlike other Call of Duties, it's they don't hit you right away. They have an animation to attack you, so you can run up to a zombie and then see he has that animation, and then they don't. Yeah. So dodging's a very big thing in this. You can dodge most zombie attacks if you're if you use the sprint speed perk. You're usually fast enough to dodge almost every zombie attack if you run right by them. So that's why that perk is almost essential for new players when they don't know the map, or they don't know how to use movement correctly. They can essentially just outrun any zombie and not get hit by them when they're running past them. And one other thing is, if you've noticed in this game, I never stay in one place too long, because in this zombies, it's really hard to hold out somewhere. In previous zombies, you could stay in one place and kill the zombies, but in this one you kind of have to keep moving, and that's another reason why the sprint speed perk is essential for new players, is because it gives you so much more just movement to run around the map. Another great gun to buy is when you open the bunker, the first gun on the wall. Yeah, so you can train them around the well, and they won't really be able to get to you. This is a good way for new players to rack up points easier by lining them up. Another great gun is the one right down here. It's the M1 Grand. It's a marksman rifle that's great for killing bigger enemies and things like that. It's also great for killing the smaller guys. It's just a great gun. And then when you pack a punch it, it's one of the better guns in the game. So another thing is, yeah. And the box is always in the bunker here. If you need it, you can hit the box, but I mean, the one thing is, don't spend all your points on the box, because then You won't be able to buy any of the doors.
Looks like we need to remove the power to get through.
Yeah, first two doors you want to buy when you're in here is the laboratory door, and then also the morgue door. Because this, on the laboratory side, when you walk in to the left of the box, if you walk down here, you will see that there's that opens when you turn the power. But if you come down here, right down the laboratory door side, this is essentially speed reload, which is probably the second perk you want to get right after sprint speed, because it gives you so much more utility when reloading. If you need to get out of a tough spot, it gives you increased reload. So that's always an amazing thing to have in zombies. So once you're at this point, you're probably asking, what should I get next? Or since I have sprint speed, reload speed, and quick revive in that, and I have armor, I've opened everything. Right now, essentially, you should be pretty set up. You shouldn't be going down often if you follow the thing of not of the movement. If you're always moving around, don't lock yourself in a corner, and you should be doing pretty well. One other great, or usually what I get 4 perks. I get quick revive, speed, reload, and sprint speed. I never usually buy increased melee damage. I don't think it's that good for my playstyle anyway. So I don't usually buy it. It's located inside the main bunker area, but you can run outside the bunker and go back to the spawn area if you have enough points for it, that is. And go back here and open this one right here. You open this, then you go into the pub, which is located right to the right. This other purple perk is increased weapon damage. And this one is also very good for probably your third perk. I would get the sprint speed, reload speed, and then weapon damage, and then go to quick revive if your teammates are going down, or if you're solo and you need it for other things. I would get quick revive. It's very nice because it increases the revive speed of your allies by tremendously, so it can really get you out of tough situations. I'm essentially just telling you how to be a better zombies player at the core of the game, not how to do the specifics of this map in particular. So essentially, the main things you want are movement, point, collection. Headshot kills grant you more points. Well, melee kills grant you the most points, headshot kills, and then body kills grant you the least. That's true for every zombie game. Yeah. So, yeah. Melee kills grant you 130, headshot kills grant you 100, and then body kills grant you 60 points. So essentially these are 2 great wall gun buys that you can go back and get ammo for. They're relatively cheap, and they're very good for how much you pay for them. So once you get all the perks and you've set yourself up, okay. Yeah, some perks that you really want to stay away from until you are comfortable with movement and the game mechanics and things of that nature. You can try and test out in the laboratory here, along with quick reload speed, which is there. You can also try and get this one, which is electrical attack on reload. It's not very good in my opinion, but you can mess around with it. So after you've done all this, I would recommend for newer players not to try and rush the Easter egg, which is at the top left when you do this. I would recommend try and get all the perks you can, and then going for the guns you can, and then following all the steps to unlock the bunker door and things like that. Always pick up armor when you can. The perks, if you go down, the perks will slowly be siphoned off your character, but you can get them from, if your friends pick you up in time, then it's not as bad, because then you don't lose any perks. Along with that, the box is okay. If you have a surplus of points and you want to get a new weapon, like you want to trade out your Thompson for something better, you can hit the box as many times as you'd like, but for new players, I'd stick to just wall gun buys, because the box can really distract newer players with they'll try to pick up their weapon and they die for it and things like that. It's not a friendly. It's pretty unforgiving when you try and go. If you'll miss like the pickup on it, you might go down. It's not very fun when you go down trying to pick up a weapon, especially if it's a good weapon. It's not very rewarding. Nukes, they're great for clearing waves, but not good for points, because they kill every zombie and they only give you 400 points. But if you kill all the zombies, you'll get tremendously more points than that. So nukes are great for high rounds when you need to clear waves, but they're not great for point control or gaining points, anything like that. If your weapons aren't doing well, or you want to just get more ammo for your weapons, you can open up the Pack-a-Punch to make them more effective against zombies. And essentially how you do that is you go back to the Thompson wall buy here, and you look towards the castle in the distance, and you come down here to the docks, and you'll just follow the docks, and you go into the sewers, and essentially what you need to do is you need to come over here, turn on this, and it'll open up. This is the Pack-a-Punch right here, and what you need to do is you need to find these tubes around the map, and then you can there's 3 of them. There's there's 2 inside the bunker, and then there's 1 over at that tower. And once you open all 3 of them, it will grant you access to the Pack-a-Punch machine, which is 5,000 points to upgrade one of your weapons, and then it's 4,000 points to grab ammo from it. And that's another thing, you can grab ammo if you're low on a Pack-a-Punch gun. You can grab ammo from the Pack-a-Punch, and that also gives you. That's better than trying to swap out your weapon and then wasting all those points because you haven't kept an eye on your ammo. And another thing is, you don't have to kill every zombie, because then that'll just start the next wave. If you want to do things, there's never really any rush in this game. As long as you keep moving, you can pretty much outrun every zombie you run into, because you should have bought sprint speed as your first perk, so you can pretty much outrun every zombie. And then what you want to do is, I would say, get weapons first, then perks, and then try and go for the Easter egg and the Pack-a-Punch, and more like the higher tier activities in zombies. Because once you get all your perks and you've got movement down, it might take a few games, but the movement, you'll eventually get used to it, and then it's just all muscle memory. Yeah, the tubes will lay around the map, and then once you get all the tubes, it'll open up the Pack-a-Punch, which is in front of you. You can run over, look at it, upgrade it for 5k, and then yeah, that's how you unlock the Pack-a-Punch. And what you can do is essentially since the Pack-a-Punch gives you ammo anyway, you can waste all of your ammo in your regular gun, then Pack-a-Punch it and gain more ammo for your gun without wasting the ammo you already have. So once you do all these things, it's essentially just kind of refining them. The guns to buy don't really change. You can try out other guns around the map. You can find them anywhere on the wall buys. Like here, you know, in the main starting area, things of that. So essentially, the big tips to do are always have perks on you. Always have guns that you can buy ammo for. Always use your special abilities. Like I'm using Frontline right now. Always use them when it's appropriate, because when you're at max charge, they don't overcharge. So you're kind of wasting the ability unless you use it. Yeah. So it's always good to use your abilities. Grenades are also very good. You can change the grenade type. You can change pretty much everything you bring into zombies with the loadout system once you're rank 5. So before you even jump into a match, or actually jump into your first couple matches until you're rank 5, and then play around with the create a class system, and then see which class fits you the best, and then see which class fits you the best, and then you can go from there. Because they're actually pretty they're pretty diverse in the class options, so that's always nice. Yeah. So that's basically it. Like, movement is definitely first, because good players can survive in close areas because they have better movement than other players. But another great thing is map knowledge. A player that knows the maps can do certainly a lot better than a player that's playing the map for the first time. And then a player that knows where there's guns that he can buy easily on the wall and not waste points. He'll do better than players that don't know where any of the guns are. And lastly, a player that knows how to or a player that has perks and armor will certainly last longer than a player with no armor and doesn't know where any of the perks are, or doesn't know what the perks do, or what perks to get because he's confused. Yeah.
This is why I only use dead soldiers. They have a more trained set of neural pathways in the hypothalamus that makes obedience and violence easily accessible. A few villagers I experimented on were numb, confused, and recalcitrant. Those tests, not